Hello, friends. How you doing? Welcome to another episode of the KORG Triton Masterclass. I've used this keyboard. I've used KORGs to be quite honest since the early '90s. So I've been using KORGs for over 30 years. Ridiculous. But I got the Triton in 2020, and I'm going to show you how to maximize some of the power of the Triton. So as usual, we're going to start with the Triton off. Today I'm going to show you how to use the MIDI outputs from the Triton to get sounds from an external keyboard into the Triton and to use them however you see fit. There's going to be two episodes. This first episode is going to focus on... There's a surprise coming. Well, let's turn it on first. Turn the keyboard on, and the second keyboard I'm featuring is its nemesis. Well, is it fair to say that? It's that one, the Motif Xf8. My beloved Motif Xf8. This keyboard is 12 years old. It's getting up there in years, but the sounds are still killer. Let's turn it on, and I'll show you some of the great sounds that the Motif Xf8 has. Some really awesome sounds. Now, when you're sequencing, playing music, creating music as I do, you don't want to get stuck to just one keyboard because they all have nice things about them, right? That does have something nice about it. A little bit loud. But what if I don't want to play with my Triton sounds on a particular day and I want the Motif sounds? How do I get the sounds from here to here? How do I use this as a controller? Well, the first part of the story is to use the MIDI out from here, okay? So if you want to get sounds from a different keyboard for you to control them from here, in other words, you play from here, and instead of you hearing Triton sounds, you hear Motif sounds, or you hear phantom sounds, or whatever you're trying to do. The trick is in the MIDI, right? The magic is in the MIDI. You gotta get the MIDI out, right? MIDI out could be used. You could use through, depending on what you're trying to do, but I'm using MIDI out, right? So this is a cable that is going all the way around into the in. It's going to the in of the XF8, as you can see, right? So that's a MIDI cable going in from out in whichever keyboard you're using. In my case, the Triton to in, all right? So I've got some really brilliant sounds here, and I'm sorry for all the clicking noises. I'm wearing a mic, so a lot of clicking noises, but it's better than you not hearing what I'm saying. Like some of you said you couldn't hear my voice really well, but now you can. But anyway, that's the sounds from the awesome Motif. Excuse me, a lot of noise. Sorry about that. So here we go. Really nice, huh? All right, another sound I totally dig from this keyboard is in the voice mode. So let's go over to voice. And you know what? I'm going to make this bigger for you so that you can actually see what I am doing instead of it being somewhat hidden. I'm going to make it much bigger. Boom, let's blow that up, and now you can see all the cameras, and the one we are really focusing on at this point is the Motif. There you go. Alright, that's much better. I just want to give you a very clear idea of what the Motif is doing, and you can also see the chords in the background. Okay. Alright. So, the Motif has got this really cool sound, as I was saying. Not the piano. Piano's nice too. But the sound I really like is the flute. This flute right here. Actually, it's this one. This one. Sweet Flute AF1. And as someone who plays some wind instruments, I like it sounding as realistic as possible. The saxes aren't bad either. It's an alto sax. So not bad. But how do I get these sounds playing from here? So instead of that, I want that, what's playing over there. I'm going to turn this down so you can see there's no sound coming out of the Triton, and this is a good way of you making sure that your MIDI connections are actually working. So I've turned off the sound. You can't hear sound from there. Let's go to program, same thing, you can't hear sound, it's dead. All right. Now to get the sounds to play on the Triton, the magic is in the MIDI, like I said. You got to get the MIDI behaving itself. All right, so you want to hit utility on this keyboard. Hit utility on the Xf8 and then go to control. And that's F5 over here. And under control, you got MIDI. You want to click on SF2. And that shows you the MIDI possibilities. Now, everything is fine right now on my keyboard settings except this, the interface. This one right here, do you see that? That needs to be changed. I wish this was touch screen, but it's not. You got to use these clunky buttons to move around. So I got to use these buttons to move to USB, and I'm going to change that to MIDI. So it's already made the connection, I can tell, because it's going off the Triton's MIDI clock. See, so I could tell it had already made the connection. But anyway, just to show you, let's exit. So you can see it's set to alto sax. Now if we go over to our Triton, lo and behold, and by the way, the volume is all the way down, so there's no trickery going on, I can assure you, right? So if I move from my alto sax, oh, that sound, I really apologize for that. It's a bit unbearable. But anyway, we'll be over and done within a little bit. I know how irritating those sounds can be. All right, so let's go to that favorite flute of mine. And let's go there. Sweet Flute AF1. So I could play it here, or I could go straight over here. And that's it. Any sound that you want, you can generate it just by setting it up here. Even if it's in the performance mode. See that? The performance mode, there's a performance mode setting that I love here. It is in Latin, right over here. Hot sauce. Right? Let's hear hot sauce. So we're not going to play it on the Motif. We're going to play it over here on the Triton, much to KORG's and Yamaha's dismay. Whichever one. Here we go. Woo! The chords change. You got to be careful what you hit. And you could change the pattern as you wish. And of course the chords. So when you move the chords, it changes as well. Change pattern. It's a lot of fun being able to do that, being able to use one keyboard as a slave, the other as a driver. But anyway, you get the idea. I hope you found this to be useful. In the next episode, as soon as I get to 100 likes on this video, I'll be showing you an even crazier trick about how to use the Triton to drive the sequencing. So I know some of you are not used to sequencing on the Motif, but believe me, the Motif is a brilliant keyboard for sequencing. I'll show you a few sequences I've done here. This one. All on the Motif. Not bad. I did this years ago on the Motif, but not everyone has the patience to learn or do stuff like this, though, kind of in a different genre. Not bad. And then stuff like this. Or like this. All done on this keyboard. Even stuff that sounds a little bit different. So it's got a great sequencing capability, don't get me wrong, but I have to be honest, when it comes to control, when it comes to my ability to control my sequences, I do my sequences a lot better on this. So how do you sequence on the Triton using the Motif sounds? And that, my friends, is the question that we'll be answering in the next video. All right, so if you found this to be cool and helpful, and you want to know how to sequence on the Triton using the Motif sounds, just please hit like, subscribe, and as soon as I get to 100 likes, I'll create that video for you. I promise I will. All right, you take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.